There we go. Nice one. Cast it up against the shoreline there and just slowly drug it on out. The key has really been to really downsize. There we go. Got him on that dyed up Power Prawn USA Junior there. Hey everybody, in this video we're going to talk about what lures you should be using and the retrieves that you should be using whenever you're fishing the heat of the day in the summertime. So first thing is cast it out there and let it sit for a little while. So when we go to pick this up, when we go to retrieve this, normally what I'm going to be doing, say in the springtime or even in the summertime before that water gets really, really hot, when we're not dealing with these 90-degree water temperatures and even higher, I'm typically going to do a retrieve something like this. I'm going to be using something that's going to kind of cover ground. I'm going to be doing a hop, a twitch, a pause. But what I'm going to have to do in the summertime, whenever it starts slowing down, whenever this water temperature gets really, really up there, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to slow it down, and I'm not even really going to be hopping it. I'm just going to be crawling at about this pace right here. And then what I'm going to do is I'll throw a couple of pauses in it. And, I'll vary those pauses up, maybe a 3-second pause, maybe a 5-second pause. But what I want to do is I want to set that lure in the fish's face, because when the water temperatures get up there, these fish, their metabolism slows down. They're not going to want to be chasing any bait, so you don't need to be working it fast. So I don't even put any hops or anything like that in it. What I'm doing is I'm just slowly crawling it across the bottom and just putting some pauses in there. And that's been the most effective retrieve for me when these water temperatures are way, way up there. Now, when it comes to the types of lures that I like using, in the video I just said that I like downsizing. What I mean by downsizing is normally, I'm going to be using your 4 and 5 inch, like your mulligans, your bombers, your bigger paddle tails and stuff like that. But in the summertime, when that heat gets really, really up there and you're fishing in the middle of the day, those big aggressive lures don't seem to work. I'm not getting as many bites on them, hardly any at all. So I like going down to little subtle lures like this. So the Power Prawn USA Junior, this just happens to be the natural color that I played around with some dye on there. But the general idea is a small 3.5 inch, the Power Prawn USA Junior rig. The hook is going to be dependent on the depth, because the area that I'm fishing here today, it's only about 2 to 3 feet deep at the most. So I've got that rigged on a Haas Helix on an 1/8 ounce, and that way it's weedless and you don't have to worry about getting hung up on any weeds. And it's deep enough that I'm going to be able to get to the bottom, reel it in really slowly, stay in contact with the bottom, but it's not such a large lure that I'm going to be collecting a lot of grass with it because it's heavy, or making a loud splash if I have to sight cast a fish. So something like this is really good. Now you can go up to the Haas football jig head, which I recommend if you're fishing in 4 to 6 foot of water, or even deeper actually. But they start at a 1/4 ounce. But again, if you're fishing something that's got a little bit more current or some deeper water, then definitely go up to a 1/4 ounce or larger. Because I'm fishing such shallow water, that's why I got the 1/8 ounce in there. Now, another lure that I like using in the summertime whenever the heat is up is going to be a lure that's got a straight tail on it like this. This is the jerk shad. This one happens to be a 5 inch. Now, I will cut this down sometimes if I think this is a little bit larger, maybe get it to that 4 inch size, but a 4 inch to 5 inch jerk shad with a tail on it that doesn't have a paddle tail on it has an advantage to a paddle tail, because one, it doesn't put off that action that might be off-putting to some fish, and also it gets to the bottom and stays to the bottom because it has less water resistance when it goes to fall. So it'll get down quicker, and then whenever you start your retrieve, it's more likely to stay down at the bottom, whereas a paddle tail will have a tendency to climb up as you start to reel it in, and you have to use more weight to get it down to the bottom. I've always liked using the least amount of weight as possible whenever I'm using lures. I think that makes the whole setup more sensitive, and you can feel those light bites. This is also great for fishing around mangroves and docks if you do fish that in your area. So you can skip underneath the mangroves or skip underneath the docks, and because it doesn't have that paddle tail to get in the way, and it's got those flat sides, it does a really good job of skipping underneath there. But those are my 2 favorite lures to use in the heat of the day in the summertime when this water temperature gets really hot. That is the Power Prawn USA Junior and also the jerk shad. And these, I'm just going to drag it right across the bottom, and I'm going to work it really, really slow. And if you're looking to try any of these lures out, we do have these available at fishstrong.com, whether that be the Power Prawn USA Junior or whether that be the jerk shad. We do have those available. And remember, insiders do get discounts off of tackle at fishstrong.com, so make sure and check that out. Gear is important, but not nearly as important as being in the right location, and that's what we do at SaltStrong. We teach you how to find the fish faster so you can save time and money. If you're not happy with the quantity or the quality of the fish that you're catching, join us in the insider community and make sure and click the link down below for a special offer to become a member.